Hello friends, so the unbelievable became a reality and we finally made it. We finally got to our dream destination, Malaysia, specifically Kuala Lumpur. But let's start from the beginning and I want to tell you our whole story. I will record all the information here on this channel, what led us to this decision, what decision we actually made, and basically how we live here in this dream destination. So XY years ago, my husband and I decided to travel from Central Europe. We decided to move somewhere where it will be summer all year round, warm all year round, and we will have the sea and the beach at our fingertips, and we will be able to live the holiday life of our dreams. Because I am simply a supporter of the fact that we have only one life. We all know that, but that's simply because we have only one life. We should enjoy it to the fullest and fulfill our dreams. And this was our huge dream. So we worked on it for many, many years, and in the end, this huge, I guess I have to say that the biggest dream of ours came true. And together, not only me, but also together with my family, they walk here. We moved to Malaysia. This behind me is the beautiful Merdeka and the tallest building in Malaysia. And so our dream came true and we finally got here. But it was not an entirely easy process. Of course, as for all the paperwork, errands in this, I'll give it to you one by one in some other AHI videos so that you have it nicely complete. So you will be able to learn about that as well. You will get various information about it, and feel free to write me here below the videos about various topics that you would be interested in about this life story of ours. Anyway, let's get to how we got here and why it took so long. And basically half a year ago, we decided so definitively that Malaysia, specifically Kuala Lumpur, would be our destination to which we want to move. Of course, we were here for a while before, and we went to see that whether the climate will suit us at all. Won't it be too stuffy? Because an awful lot of people say that it is in these tropical, exotic countries that it is extremely hot and humid. And to tell the truth, I personally hate the fact that you get out and it completely flows out of you. You're just like in the shower. So I was really happy about this when we were here for the first time, that it just wasn't like that, and I was very pleasantly surprised that it wasn't like in Vietnam or Thailand, for example. Personally, I've never been to these two countries, but people with whom I know and have visited these two countries, so they just confirmed to me that in these tropics it's usually just like that you climb out and you're like out of the shower. So I was a little afraid of this, but fortunately it wasn't like that. And after actually visiting this country, and actually after exploring as regards the health system, the social system, the school system, whereas we are moving here or have moved here with 2 school-age children. So of course this was one of the things I was interested in. By the way, this is one of the local schools, specifically a school for Chinese children, but I'll tell you about education in another vlog. And so we decided actually based on the information. So yes, Malaysia is exactly where we want to live. So we really like it, where it suited us. And I have to say right away that we felt here like as if we were actually born here, as if we belonged here. So this was crucial for me. You can have pictures, videos, you may like the country, but if you don't experience that feeling for yourself, so for me, it's actually the most important thing that separates you from the weather, or at least it separated me from the fact that whether I'm even willing to go to that country and try it, or you don't give it a chance at all. And it was Malaysia that surprised me very nicely in all aspects. So it became our dream destination and we started working on getting here. I'll skip the paperwork, plus it's in some other vlog than I said, but half a year ago we booked flights. Specifically, it was at the 3/3/26, so we were still saying to ourselves, wow, that's a beautiful magical date for us to actually be able to start our new life with such a beautiful date. And we actually packed everything. We gradually cleared out our entire house because we lived in a family house in Slovakia, which is in our own personal ownership, so we decided to rent it out. So we arranged that too. We found tenants who, of course, rented our house quite quickly, to our surprise. And of course, we also had 2 cars that also needed to be sold. So we also had the cars already sold, and there were some left, I guess, less than 2 days, less than 48 hours before departure. Well, the devil didn't want to, and I guess we all know. I believe that there is not a single person on this planet who would not know about what happened on 1, 3, or 28 in the Middle East. At midnight, an email arrived. Otherwise, look at the beautiful environment. Palm trees everywhere, modern, beautiful building. And so actually on the 28th second, the war in the Middle East started. And on the 3rd, received an email from Qatar around midnight because we had booked tickets from Qatar Airlines that our flight was cancelled and we had to rebook it. So we rebooked it 2 weeks later. And of course, this scenario was repeated about 4 or 5 times when we had to rebook our tickets. And I'll tell you that the whole situation with rebooking tickets was extremely stressful. Because when you're looking forward to that, actually, your dream is so close to coming true. So when it happens, so you stay a little desperate about it, despite a very positive and strong mindset that I personally think I have. But of course it was an endless time. It was just terribly long, and that's how it started. A bit of despair began to appear. But anyway, after 2 months, we finally managed to get on the plane, and on the 5th, 2026, so again, a wonderful date, we actually managed to fly from Vienna to our dream destination in Malaysia. So the unbelievable has really become a reality. The never-ending story finally ended, and so the new one, our dreamed one, began to take place. And I have to say that really, when we got off, the whole trip actually on that plane here with Qatar was absolutely great. I'll also tell you about that in another video. And when we got here and finally got off the plane and climbed out for the airport, the feeling was really indescribable. And we were incredibly excited that we were finally our new home and could start building our new dream life. So how do we work so far? Of course, we have some tips on real estate because we also want to buy real estate here. We don't want to be renting. We want to buy real estate because we decided that we really want to stay here. And we have some tips for our properties that we seem to like the most so far. And we managed to book an apartment for the first month, a huge apartment in the city center, in the center of Kuala, and in the very residence where our favorite apartment is. So we're looking forward to that. We could or can try because we are currently still in this residence. And we are looking forward to that. We can try then, if this is really it, whether it will really be like that so much and whether we can imagine that life there. Otherwise, you drive here on the left and I really can't get used to it. It's really something for me that I can't still find my way around. It's hard. Hey, it's not easy at all to get used to the opposite sides, and I don't know whether I will ever have the courage to start driving here. This is the stinkiest. I haven't had the courage to try it yet, but we'll also have a vlog about it. Well, back to our story. So we are currently living in the residence where it would probably be our dream or the most favorite apartment that we can imagine living there. And now actually on the 26th, we will move to another apartment again to try out other different options and different types of housing. And then we finally decide which apartment we will buy. So it's still in the phase of such a real adventure. We discover every day we go to different places. Every day we actually discover some new things, whether it's a pastime for children or it's classic supermarkets, local market. Now we are just walking to Chinatown, where you can find absolutely everything, and for a fraction of the price. What I love most about this country is how they work here. Nothing is a problem. They have incredible systems for everything. And the country is so incredibly diverse. You have one type of weather all year round. So you have summer all year round. And when you need to cool down, you have 2 hours directly from the city center in the mountains, where it is 16 degrees. At the same time, you have different roofs everywhere. So whether you need to hide from the sun or you need to hide from the rain, there is no problem. And in any weather, you can be outside. You can explore and do all kinds of trips. Well, and maybe you have a question that how are the current children with school? At the moment, our children are in distance learning in a classic Slovak school, which they attended until the end of the first half of the year, 2026. Individually, classically full-time in the form of full-time study. And then actually from the beginning of February, they have been in distance individual teaching. They work in the form of projects. So the teachers send them various projects and on they actually work on this principle. School holidays are actually here from the beginning of June to mid-August. So there are actually official holidays at that time. And then We won't enroll our children in one of those local schools that I showed you at the beginning of the video, but they will go to an international school just where there are mostly expats. It is taught in English, and it is really a school at the level of a 5-star hotel, so you have something to look forward to. I'll make a video about that as well. Those of you who know us personally know that we also have our 2 pets, specifically dwarf bunnies. My heart would break if we didn't take them with us. So we also had to get 2 bunnies with us, and I'll tell you, so it was probably the biggest challenge of all that we actually had to manage from all the preparations before moving here. And so much paperwork, so much actually all the errands around it. To do this, we really have to arrange a hired export agent, an import agent, actually find out through agencies what kind of papers do you need, because here in Malaysia it's really very, very strong bureaucracy, and when you don't like just one sentence in all of them, in one of all documents, so they just deny you the whole process. So it was really very stressful and very, very challenging, and since I did it for the very first time with animals, it was very stressful for me. Very difficult for everything to actually work out. We didn't miss anything so that it wouldn't happen that they would turn us back at the airport because we didn't have a vision, because we didn't have all the paperwork done. Fortunately, this did not happen, and we managed to get our beloved bunnies here. It wasn't a cheap thing at all, but just for our beloved animals, what we wouldn't do. And the last thing to this endless journey of ours, to make matters worse and to be able to imagine that we really had an incredible number of various obstacles. So even on the day of departure in Vienna at check-in, they turned us around because we don't have a long-term visa yet, which we have in the process, but we don't have them approved yet. So we had to travel on a tourist visa, which of course we have secured online in advance. However, when you travel to Malaysia, and this is a very important point for everyone who will go here, you must have a ticket out of the country in advance before the end of the tourist visa, which is valid for 90 days from arrival in the country. So of course we didn't have that. We had a tourist visa arranged and approved, but we did not have an exit from the country. So at the check-in in Vienna, we quickly booked tickets to Phuket at the end of this 90-day period. So we also have a trip to Phuket. We plan to stay there for about a month, so we'll see how much it will be in the end, whether or not 2 weeks or a month. So this was also another obstacle that was basically on the way to getting here to Malaysia. But anyway, we have overcome all the obstacles, and really, if you want to achieve something, whatever it is, then go for it. Don't give up. Don't be afraid of obstacles, because those obstacles are just a kind of, as I say, a test of how serious you are about your dream and how strongly you want to make it come true. And as soon as you overcome those obstacles, then all of a sudden your dream turns into reality, and you can celebrate your big or small victory. So this is all from this first welcome vlog of ours. Here I already have our older daughter Valentine next to me. She's a dancer, so she'll tell you a lot about that too. And we have already arrived at our destination. We're going to have fun, and you can look forward to another vlog soon.